countertops and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
You owe the IRS back taxes, and dealing with the IRS stresses you out. Fortunately, IRS Problem Relief can help you resolve back taxes and represent you to the IRS so you don't have to face them alone. Last year, IRS Problem Relief saved clients drowning in tax debt. And IRS Problem Relief is a local company right here in Panama City, not some 800 number where you can never talk to the same person twice. Put those problems behind you so you can focus on moving forward. Call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief, 850-784-8176. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief. It's 850-784-8176 or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
It's here again, Toyota's national sales event. And this month at Panama City Toyota, you can get 1.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on the new Tundra. With its twin-turbo engine and towing power, Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Get style for miles in the all-new Camry, explore the great outdoors in a new RAV4, or discover the new totally redesigned Tacoma. See you soon at our national sales event.
Offer expires September 3rd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Monday morning. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach, all of beautiful Bay County. 101.9 in Port St. Joe, along that beautiful Forgotten Coast. That's like my sub-share. You can like, follow, subscribe, share, do all those wonderful things. That's social media. Search it up, ESPN Northwest Florida, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. Absolutely. Got to get on there, especially now. Football season is well underway. If you want to head over to ESPNPC.com, you can check on that TV channel button. You click on it, takes you to KHS TV. And for $40 a month, you get all the channels you want right there. Even pay-per-view stuff, Jay. Everything that back in the day when the cable guy came to your house and you knew him, he'd, you know what, I'll get you HBO for a couple months or Stars or whatever.
I gave you free cable. What have you ever done for me?
Oh, man. We were talking that movie came out of nowhere when we were talking before the show. Cable Guy, Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick. What a classic.
Oh, that was classic.
I love when they fight in medieval times. That's one of my favorite ones.
Come on.
No,
I want to hear it.
I can't do it.
Come on.
No, maybe later. Such a good one. But anyway, if you want to continue to listen to us while you got your phone out, and if you want to listen to those Mosley football games on Friday nights, there's only one thing you got to do, Jay, if you're not at the game or riding in your car, of course.
Right. Let me think about it for a second. Oh,
Google Play or Apple Store.
There you go. Download
if you don't have it.
If you don't have it. Yeah, technically true. I mean, I think it comes with your phone unless you just delete that app. But
okay. Yeah,
I think it comes preloaded because that's where you get all your other apps
So step 1, download that. Step 2, 104.3.
Boom, shows it up right
that's
there.
right there.
ESPN Northwest Florida. All you do is open the app and it starts playing there right for you.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to everybody getting that app downloaded if you haven't already. Jay,
yes,
I got a poll question today, and it's kind of related to college football, really any sport for that matter. And we'll dive into the Florida State game, of course, when we get into the next segment. Because I'm not quite ready for that one yet. But yeah, Chris, he was actually a great kid this morning. Maybe he was still on the high from his draft last night. But Chris asked how was Liam's getting ready for school this morning. And you know what? He was actually kind of surprised all of us and was in a good mood.
Absolutely.
And got after it. So we'll see about tomorrow. But yeah, he had a great time. Everybody had a great time. But the question I was going to ask you, Jay, and the poll question I want to put out there for our listeners is specific to trash talking, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a firm believer that I don't like if my team's playing it, even regardless, I don't like to do it before the game because I hate to have to eat my own words. So I limit my trash talking to post game, obviously when the result has already happened.
Right.
However, I feel like a lot of people like talk trash before the games, after, all the time, because you had even brought it up to my attention yesterday when I saw you at the golf course, was, people are just going crazy. Obviously Florida State lost. That was the big upset. But, Florida fans, Miami Fit, just dragging them through the ringer. And I'm like, what happens if you guys lose? So that's my question is, when do you trash talk in sports? Before the game? Or I should say after the game or anytime. Those would probably be the two options. But what about you?
My first question is, does week 0 still count, though?
Yes, it's a game.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't. It's not exhibition.
To all those Knowles fans out there, I was trying to help out.
No.
Yeah, all right, so it did count.
It did count, yes. All the games that were played this past weekend counted, except the preseason, for NFL, which is over.
Look, I'm not much of a trash talker. You guys know me, right?
Yeah, you don't talk trash at all.
At the end of the day, oh, man, I hate that at the end of the day.
That's fine.
At the end of the day, I am a Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, we know.
I grew up an Auburn Tiger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do like both those teams. However, however, it's just not going to make or break my Saturday. It's not going to make or break my week. It's not going to make or break, my quarter, my year, whatever it may be. I guess I just love it for the entertainment purpose.
Yeah, hey, that's a great perspective because, I mean, this is kind of the time of year where everybody's mood is decided by, what their favorite football team is doing.
Right.
And a lot of that time, and it's just a game, but I also understand it's passion. It's a distraction from everything else going on in the world. So, that trash talking is just Tyler Bishop said, if you're going to trash talk, you got to do it beforehand. Trash talk after you win is like taking the risk of being the risk of being wrong. Isn't taking the risk of being. Yeah, I'm a little. See, I don't know if I'm risk adverse. I'm superstitious as heck. So I feel like if I am talking trash, then I'm going to jinx my team.
I agree.
So
I can see
that's where I live in that, Tyler Bishop. But because I just, and even I'll throw a little bit out there every once in a while to the Cowboys here and there. But like the week leading up to the game, that's just a tough one because I'm so superstitious. How many times I changed jerseys during the Super Bowl? At the end, of course, and it didn't work out. So maybe it's not. The sooner you realize you wake up and football games don't change your life, the happier you will be. They affect you. If they affect you, you're living wrong.
All right. It's fair. The Gator Nation, I did see over the weekend. Goodness gracious, at the Gator Nation coming at the Knowles. You got your week coming, Gators. I mean, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every game, Jay, except NFL preseason football is not going to end in a tie. Somebody's going to win it. Somebody's going to lose.
Right.
And that's kind of part of it. But yeah, poll question, we'll put that up on there. But you guys are already starting to answer it. We appreciate that very much. When you talk trash, we'll do three things. When you talk trash, is it before the game, after the game, or it doesn't matter? You talk trash all the time.
Okay.
Because, it really is. Trash talk is kind of part of sports.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you just don't talk trash.
Or That's four because we can do 4. So you don't talk trash.
Yeah.
We'll get that poll question up here shortly, Jay. Always going to update every first segment. Atlanta Braves playoff push. They lost yesterday, but they won the series again. They won their last 2 series. They've won, that makes it 6 or 4 out of their last 6. So kind of hanging tight in their wild card race. They are now, I believe, 2.5 games ahead of the Mets, 6 games back of the Philadelphia Phillies there, who are getting a little bit winning going. They've won their last 2, 6-4 in their last 10. And like I said, the Atlanta Braves are 6-4 in their last 10 as well, even though they lost yesterday. But hey, staying right there, got to hold down that wild card spot. That's kind of the goal. We still could chase down the Phillies, but a lot of stuff's going to have to go right, and a lot of stuff's going to have to go wrong for the Phillies in that one.
Win those series, and I think we'll be playing some October baseball.
I'm pretty sure that would, if you could just say we'll win every series here on out, I think we'd lock down a wild card spot. I think that's fair to say.
Kind of like the old boy used to tell me, if you take care of your nickels and dimes, they'll take care of your dollar bills.
There you go. There you go. That's a good one, no doubt about it. All right, let's get into some local high school action. I know, I hope everybody had the pleasure. If you weren't attending any of the football games, or if you were attending the Mosley-Rutherford game, you're listening to DJ Davey Crockett, David Hayes, and Kyle Wright on the call, as we are your home for the Mosley Dolphins here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm going to jump into volleyball first, just to get that one up there for everybody. So Mosley was playing a tournament. I forget exactly where it was, but they played, I believe, 6 or 7 games in a couple days, and it started on Friday night. They had a 2-0 win over Brewer, and then they had a 2-0 loss to UMS Wright Prep. And then over the weekend in that tournament, they lost to Hoover 2-0. They beat Northridge 2-0. They beat James Clemens 2-0. And I think they played on Sunday. Let me double check. Yes, and then they won both of their games on the Sunday to finish out the tournament. I believe they were 5-2 in the tournament. They beat Athens. I wonder if that's probably Athens, Alabama. There's a lot of Athens. And then Mosley beat Albertville 2-0 as well. All right, Jay, let's get to some Friday night lights. We'll let David talk about the Mosley game here shortly. Holmes County came into Bozeman and kind of took care of business there. Bozeman kind of got down early and fought back a little bit, but Holmes County won that one 40-23. Our good friends over there at Destin High ended up losing to Northview 26-7. Freeport came into North Bay Haven and won that one with a shutout victory, 30-0. Wakulla took down our affiliate city there in Port St. Joe, 41-14. And then, of course, we attended the Bay Arnold game on Friday night over there at Gavlack Stadium. And not the score. I mean, you said it was going to be a shootout, high-scoring game. Kind of the opposite of that one. A very defensive battle. Both teams looked very, very good defensively, but kind of crazy stuff that transpired. Arnold got a safety early in the game. The punt group for Bay wasn't doing too well. The first 2 punts they did, the ball got snapped in the ground. One, they got the punt off. The other one went through the back of the end zone for a safety. That carried on for a long time. Into halftime, it was either late third quarter or early fourth quarter, Bay kind of drove down the field and then got a nice touchdown pass to take the lead 7-2 in that one. And then it kind of went back and forth, a bunch of fumbles, interceptions, turnovers. Arnold got a good stop, got a good push, interception, and then kind of went all the way back down the field there and scored a touchdown, and they got up 8-7 in that one. They went for 2 because it doesn't really matter. If 2 points or 3 points, 2 points or 1 point, it's not a big difference when you kick field goals.
Right.
So Arnold got up a 7, and it was a great touchdown, little almost like a wheel route, but a seam down the right side of the field. Threw it out there. Will Potter got it out in front of him, caught the ball, and ran a touchdown because there had been a couple others that were dropped earlier in the game. But, big crowd out there. And then with about 1:54 to go, Bay had a big play driving down the field. They get within the 2. I want to say there's about 50 seconds-ish left. They run power. They get stopped. They run it again. They get a touchdown, but it got called back on pushing your player into the end zone. I don't know the rule on that to a T, but I know if you push a player in the end zone, apparently in high school football, maybe within a certain distance to the goal line, it is a penalty. That got called back. Clock is still running all the way down. Bay never brings on the field goal. There was not one field goal attempted in that football game. But Bay, I mean, they got the ball. Now the clock's running, about 20 seconds to go. They're lined up. Instead of kicking the field goal, they basically ran a little QB sweep with their quarterback, and Arnold sniffed it out and stopped it. Clock expired, and the game was over.
Wow.
First win in 2 years for Arnold Marlins.
Do you think so? Kicking may have played a factor in this game.
Yeah, 100. Well, and there wasn't one attempted field goal in the game. I was a little surprised, and I think somebody said Bay was trying to get a timeout late or something. Maybe that was they were going to bring on the field goal unit. But yeah, I mean they were on the 2-yard line with about 20 seconds to go, and then they didn't kick a field goal, and the rest is history. But crazy stuff over there at Gavlax Stadium. Excited. I know Arnold was excited to get their first win in 2 years, and the Griffin era starts with a W.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And look, kicking to me is part of the game that seems to just kind of go to the wayside. And when it's time to kick, man, you gotta have that kicker in place.
Yeah, I was just a little surprised on that one, but yeah, hey, it is what it is on that one. Do want to give a big thank you on the ESPN Northwest Florida Fantasy Football Draft last night. Great turnout. Everybody, I think just all but a couple people were there. DJ Davy Crockett was running around drafting, for a couple of those teams. But, I mean, PCB Hobby, Brian Haddad, everybody over there, huge shout out. It went all the way till a little after 10 o'clock. And, he was there the whole time, and everybody came out. Big shout out to Domino's Pizza. Big shout out to, I believe it's 850 Bakes, did you have one of the brownies?
I did not. Man. I had too much pizza, I think.
You were missing out. Those brownies were fantastic.
Yep.
But, yeah, PCB Hobby, Domino's Pizza, 850 Bakes, and, of course, David Hayes just did a great job running that. And all the leagues have been drafted, and as soon as he compiles that information and put you in the right league, get out there and be ready because it starts a week from Thursday. NFL season gets kicked off. Anything that stuck out to you from the draft last night?
Well, I know you gave me a couple task, and I failed.
I don't even remember the task I gave you.
I think just crossing off the players.
Oh, Liam was more disappointed than I was. He was doing that, and then you took over.
Well,
and
but I found some good friends last night. Mailman Mike and Jerry Wayne. Man, that was great.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed meeting them last night. Great folks. I know they listen to us, so shout out to them. Finally put a face to a name, and that's what this is all about. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of faces with names, and it's just it's a cool time. It's such a huge draft. I mean, 4 leagues, 52 people, 52 teams drafting. It just doesn't get any better. Now, it was kind of interesting to see, and we'll probably go through some of the who we think had the best draft, maybe worst draft kind of thing from each league, but just to have that many participants in fantasy football is just makes it a lot of fun.
That's cool, man.
Makes it a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Absolutely. Good stuff there.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Yeah.
It's family, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It was cool seeing people. This is year 2 for me, and year 1 was obviously just getting there and trying to figure out the control chaos. I think that's the word.
Control chaos, indeed.
And this year was more of getting to kind of know a few other folks this year, and that was cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's it'll be fun as the top 4 teams in each league will move to the Champions League next year, and you can get relegated like I did last year, but just a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing some fantasy football. It just keeps you engaged. I feel like where you are now versus where you are last year, night and day.
Yeah.
I feel like your fantasy football knowledge has probably quadrupled from what it was before.
Well, that makes me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside.
It should. I really believe that.
Okay.
I really believe that. But yeah, no, it was great stuff. PCB, I think PCB Hobby did pretty well.
They
too.
did. That's the first time I've been in the doors, and man, what some great stuff they have in that location.
Oh yeah, I hadn't been there since they expanded into the new area there. But David, just wanted to thank everybody yesterday. I was thanking you, PCB Hobby, all the participants, Domino's Pizza, 850 Bakes for the delicious brownies. Those weren't just brownies either. Those were like brownies times 1,000. But if you want to say anything about the draft yesterday,
I mean, I would love to just go through each and every single person that came. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll do that on the afternoon underdogs and kind of break it up by segment. But yeah, for everyone who came out last night, what we only we were only missing maybe 2-3 people. I was not intending on drafting in every single draft, but hey, man, that's just the way that the boat rose, and I enjoy it. Shout out to Kenya, I believe was the Domino's driver name. Yeah, she did a great job. And to everyone else, man, it was just a ton of fun, and I am looking forward to next year already. Remember, top 4, make it to the Champions League, and then if not, first come, first serve next year. But yeah, man, I had a blast. Who do you think in the Inside Drive, who do you think had the best draft?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Liam's at school, but I sent him a message today. I was like, hey, bro, you're going to need to find another running back on the waiver wire, because I was like, you just have 2. No, he's got 3 running backs, but one of them's a backup, and he's got Nick Chubb, who will not be available until week 5, as he will be placed on the PUP.
Oh, Jerome Ford, then.
Yeah, that's actually what I texted him. I said, as soon as David loads our league, you need to go in there and pick up Jerome Ford. But
what's PUP?
The player
physically unable to perform.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Well, they make pills for that. Yeah, I've actually heard it on our commercials. So
pup.
Yep. Pup.
On National Dog Day.
Dog Day. I mean, I think we've got a pretty even team. It was interesting to see. I know Christian McCaffrey went first in our league, but I know in the Champions League he ended up going 3rd. Which is kind of surprising. I think Bijan and Breece Hall both went ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
And I was seeing Justin Jefferson kind of fall in some of these drafts as well. And I guess that has a lot to do with who's going to be slinging the rock.
See, I think the opposite. I had the 3rd pick in the draft, and it went McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, and I took Justin Jefferson because I think Sam Darnold's going to be lit up because he's got probably, as a starter, obviously with the Niners, he wasn't the starter. It was 1 year. But as a starter, I think he's got some of the best group around him that he's had probably ever.
Also, got to thank Ryan, man. All of the work that he did. Picked up ice for us. Got all of the boards. Domino's doesn't happen without Ryan. And Coach Brian Haddad as well.
Yeah, man.
The Coach James Hill Show in 2023 was the slowest, by far, the slowest drafting league. Last night, I think the closest team was like 3 rounds, or the closest league was like 3 rounds away from.
No, they were flying.
My goodness.
They were ready to go every time with their picks. They were actually crossing off the names they needed to cross off, unlike some of the people in our league. And just, they were killing it. Drafting defenses and kickers all over the place. It was good stuff.
And PCB Hobby, of course.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That was a beautiful venue. It really was.
Well, and I think it worked out for them, too. I mean, there's a lot of people patronizing the facility, and, that's kind of how you want it to be. They're giving us their space to have this draft, and we need to take care of them by buying some of their stuff.
That's right.
It's just kind of how it works here in Bay County in this community. But Jay, we'll dive into more of the draft action when we start getting stuff loaded. I mean, I got the picture of the Inside Drive one. I can kind of look at it in the break and see what we're looking at. But we got to go ahead and take a quick break. Jay, when we get back, I want to ask you, is FSU's playoff chances out the window? You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your official radio home for Auburn Tiger football. The tailgating, the crowds, the noise. All the excitement of Auburn football is back, and you can hear every game right here.
It's Auburn versus Alabama A&M. Join us for Kickoff on the Plains this Saturday. Coverage starts at 5:30, kickoff at 6:30 on your home for the Auburn Tigers on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, light showers and some sun and a high of 90, the light breeze at 7 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. For tonight, a variety of light sprinkles and mostly clear skies and a low near 78. Tomorrow, sprinkling and a high around 88. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Dat Cajun Place is your LSU and Saints football headquarters. Saints and LSU fans, wear your team colors and score a free Jell-O shot when your team scores a touchdown. Only at Dat Cajun Place. Get $5 pitchers on select draft beers during all live football games. Catch all the games at once with the NFL package on 27 large TVs at Dat Cajun Place. And the best wings on the beach. The locals' favorite, Dat Cajun Place.
In the jewelry business, there is no substitute for experience. David Adamson has over 46 years of experience, 32 of those in Lynn Haven. Designing and creating fine jewelry is more than a job for David, it's a joy. If you're looking for a spectacular jewelry design that says you, or perhaps you need your jewelry repaired, look no further than David Adamson Designer Jewelry. All work is done in-house and always to your complete satisfaction. Stop in today at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue in Lynn Haven. They're on Facebook and at tcjeweler.com.
It's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves come up short in their quest of a sweep of the Nationals on Sunday. I'm Kevin McAlpin, and your Braves Radio Network morning update's coming up next.
Tickets for the Braves 2024 season are going fast. This season is jam-packed with great matchups. Get your tickets at braves.com/tickets.
Sunday afternoon at Truist Park, it was the visiting Nationals salvaging the series finale as they took down the Braves by a score of 5-1. Nationals got a run in the first and carried a 1-0 lead into the sixth. That is until Matt Olson delivered his game-tying 22nd homer of the year, 429 feet into the fountains in center field. For Reynaldo Lopez, he would not factor in the decision despite allowing 1 run on 3 hits over 6 innings as the Nationals got 3 runs in the 7th off of Luke Jackson, scoring a run on a wild pitch, an RBI double from Jacob Young, and an RBI single off the bat of C.J. Abrams. Abrams later tacked on an RBI single in the 9th as the Nationals took down the Braves 5-1 as Atlanta closed out the homestand with a 4-2 mark. Braves now embark on a 7-game road trip starting off tonight in the first of 3 against the Twins in Minnesota. Max Fried takes on Bailey Over, and as always, hear the call live from Target Field right here on the Braves Radio Network at 7:40 p.m. Eastern.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, David, I just want to get your thought on it. Brought the poll question in the first segment, and it was kind of with the FSU, and just he had mentioned it to me. Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday when I saw you at the course. Yeah, and he was just talking about like seeing all these Gator fans, and like he's like it was intense, the trash talking. So the poll question is, when it comes to your sports, your teams, whatever it may be, do you talk trash before the game, after the game, doesn't matter when, or do you not talk trash at all? Because Jay doesn't talk trash at all. I talk trash after the game. Now, somebody had said that, oh, you're kind of, trying not to be risky. It's actually, for me, it's superstitious. I don't like to jinx my team by talking trash to other fan bases. So what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not much of a trash talker. It depends, right? If say it's Alabama and I'm good friends with a buddy who likes Auburn and we're talking about the Iron Bowl. Well, yeah, off the air and stuff, I'm talking tremendous amounts of crap with him, though. If I really do feel like it doesn't matter if we can win or we're going to lose, right? I'm talking crap with my buddies. But outside of that, though, no, I'm right there with you, man. I do think that you tend to jinx yourself when you talk a little bit too much. So I try to keep it like Jay. Keep it in the fairway.
There you go. And then afterwards, you got to eat crow, right, Jay? If you do, which is fine. I mean, if you can't,
I wouldn't be out there saying Knowles by 100 on Twitter.
Yeah, no, for sure. What do you think? Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna. And look, I've been there before. I would say 17 years ago. Look, on a Monday morning, 17 years ago, I was looking for that Saturday afternoon Georgia Bulldog, kickoff, and it was going to make or break, my week. But you change, right? You change a little bit.
Change is inevitable.
Yeah, it is. It's don't get used to anything because change will happen. But I don't know. I could really go a little deeper into all that. But we only have 2 hours.
Yeah,
So,
no, absolutely. What did you think about the Florida State Georgia? I mean, looking at it from 10,000 feet, it was a hell of an opening game to this year's college football season, and of course, a lot of expectation for Florida State. But, and I'm not giving them excuses. No offensive coordinator. He was suspended for the game. Their best wide receiver was out. They just looked a little out of sorts. And, DJU, is he the guy? I mean, he looked a little bit like he did at Clemson yesterday. Now, he didn't commit any turnovers, but at the same time, I think in the first half, he was averaging negative 0.1 air yards per attempt. Yikes. But what do you think?
Well, I think you had asked me earlier if FSU still has a chance to get into that national championship. I don't think so. I don't think they're the team they were last year. Georgia. I mean, the reason Georgia Tech won that game is because they finally do have a kicking game. I'm back to kicking, right? I mean, they've never really had much of a kicking game. They've always been kind of a 2-point conversion kind of team, and that's what won the game yesterday.
Well, and Chris Steffen commented on our Facebook page saying a lot of people don't realize that Georgia Tech's offensive line has 163 combined starts together. I mean, you can see that in their run game. I mean, they just dismantled Florida State in the run game. I mean, Haynes King played well, but did he do anything special? No. I mean, he ran the ball a little bit, but I think their offensive line completely dominated Florida State's defensive line, and that was the difference in the football game, in my opinion. But it also goes to a larger point, is bringing guys in from the transfer portal always going to work? Because what do you do during training camps and, your spring stuff? You're trying to build continuity with the team. And here we are in this transfer portal world, and maybe you can't lose as many people as a team and bring all these. Yeah, they got talent, but talent and continuity and playing as a team might be two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But I think it goes back, and I think I saw this over the weekend about, I think Florida State needs a different conference. And I'm not hating on ACC, but
I think they need to stay in the ACC.
You think so?
Yeah, what conference are they going to go to?
I don't know. I mean, well, you think about it, right?
The Pac-12.
I don't know. I feel like, when you cast net, if you have a small cast net, you're going to get small fish. You're going to get not as many fish. If you have a big cast net, you're going to get bigger fish. I just don't think Florida State has that big cast net.
Well, they lost a lot of talent to the NFL last year, and he had a lot of people to replace, including his quarterback. And, I don't know. He just looked, and maybe because his OC wasn't there, I don't know. I think the OC calls. I don't know who calls the plays for Florida State.
I thought Norvell was taking that over this year. Was it just for that game?
I don't know. Might have just been for that game. But DJU, he just, a lot of times he would pump the first pass and the second one just would be no good. And he had a couple nice passes, and I think he converted 2 fourth downs and, drags across the middle, and, guys were pretty wide open. But what do you think, David Hayes? Were you surprised with Florida State?
Oh, heck yeah, I was surprised, especially when you look at the opening drive. You're like, oh my goodness, Florida State is for real. Then you look at the day before on Friday, right? And Coach Saban's like, FSU looks like a top 5 team. They look physical, right? And they did look physical for 5 minutes or however long that first drive lasted. And then after that, man, it was just, it seemed like Georgia Tech had more fire. They wanted to be there more, and they won the most important battle on the football field, which is the line of scrimmage. And they took control. I don't think that you can blame DJU for everything. I mean, the kid looked wonderful on 4th downs, and it's not like he had a bad completion percentage by any stretch of the imagination. It was just the ones that you really wanted to see him complete that he wasn't doing that, at least in the first half, right?
The first half, he was fantastic. I think he was 14 of 15, but again, he had...
But there was still, third quarter, I guess, right, where there's a few passes right down the sideline where you're just like, man, you've got to make those throws. Otherwise, we're not sitting here thinking this guy is the replacement. Like, this is the guy that's replacing Jordan Travis. Yeah. And I think it kind of stinks, man, because we saw him at Clemson. He was all right at Oregon State, but Oregon State really just had a great defense I mean, the Pac-12 was up last year. Yeah. So there is that. But I don't think that you can 100% blame DJU. However,
no.
And then, man, the thing is looking on Twitter afterwards, and you're like, and all of these excuses. Well, jet lag. All right, Georgia Tech had to take the same exact flight.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say, Danny Cannell brought up, there was 49 seconds left, right? I believe it was on the third down. That time should have been on the clock.
Yeah.
I don't know if that changes anything because Florida State just wasn't moving the ball very well.
Yeah.
But I was extremely surprised, and I'll tell you how surprised I was. All right, so I put me a little parlay out. Everyone knows I love my parlays. Then I went, and I don't do this normally. I put $20 on FSU to cover 10.5. At the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah.
Then FSU finds themselves to be they're down by 7, and they're plus 325. I'm like, they're gonna win this game, no doubt.
That's
So
huge
I threw
value
10.
at the time. Yeah,
I lost $30 on Florida, and I'm not hating on that.
No,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's my dumb decision.
You wanna make bets,
I
you gotta
believed
eat it.
in them, so I was extremely surprised, and I do hate it for Florida State fans. However, the more that I saw on Twitter and stuff, the more I'm like, you guys deserved it.
Who traveled better? Was it Florida State or was it Georgia Tech fans? I didn't see the game. but-
It sounded like Doak, like mini Doak.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
But you heard a lot and I think you just get a lot of people from over there that come to the game as well. That's the ninth college football game at Aviva Stadium there, the home of the Irish rugby national team. But yeah, I mean, it was just it was great football game, and I thought I did a nice little one with Georgia Tech with the points. I figured Florida State would win, but I thought Georgia Tech would cover just because they're on the up for sure. Yep. But getting back to, I think you had Florida State in the playoff, right?
I've got them going all the way.
Ooh, hey, you know what? The ACC is I don't think they are out of playoff contention. I think they've got to figure it now. Now they can't afford to lose a game that they shouldn't lose. I mean, they might be able to lose one more against a top opponent and still finish out the season and get in the conference championship. But I don't think they're out of the playoff. Did the hill just get a lot bigger? Absolutely. I think they had like a 53% chance to start the season with FBI, and now it went down to like 25% chance. So, but if you were to replace Florida State on your bracket, who would you choose?
Man, oh god,
I'm not letting you, but
yeah, okay, all right.
So pretty much, you're the reason they lost that game is because you picked them to win the national
Pretty much,
championship.
you're probably right. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
David, did you have Florida State in your bracket in your 12?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know why. I didn't really think about them actually when we were doing it.
It's funny though, because Friday I'm like, man, should I revamp my college football playoff, like my 12 teams, and get FSU in there? And again, I mean, I thought about it.
Yep.
Obviously with the Andrew Jackson, but yeah, man, I don't know. Obviously they're not out of it.
No.
They can win the ACC championship. They can get in there. The season is not over.
No.
However. That is a tough go.
Makes the hill a little bit steeper to climb, but what it does for us is it keeps those NC States, those Miamis, those North Carolinas a little better shot to make it happen.
All right, Ryan, looking back at my bracket, I've got to go Ole Miss. I don't have Ole Miss anywhere on this bracket.
You don't have Ole Miss in your bracket?
Nope.
All right. Well, you can't change it out, but kind of keep an eye on that. Just write Ole Miss on there somewhere, like Ole Miss /FSU. That way, once we get to January of next year, we'll kind of have an idea of where you lived in that one.
All right.
Florida State's your pick, but maybe if Ole Miss is there, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But yeah, interesting start to the season. Of course, Miami and Florida play this upcoming weekend, so the Florida fans will either keep talking extra trash, or maybe it'll. Neither one of those will ever stop. But yeah, beautiful venue in Dublin for sure. Ryan Warren said Bama transfers at best. Well, there's a reason why they're transfers too. There's a reason why they're not still on the teams that they come. That's the thing about the transfer portal. There's a reason they're not playing on the team that they were on. But now there is some where they're coming from a quote-unquote lesser school and moving up to a bigger school. So there's that side of it too. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason why transfer guys are in the transfer portal. All right, Jay, you want to go through our pick 'em?
Yes.
I got a little nervous because I didn't get my first correct pick until the 8th pick. So I was like, is David going to start out just absolutely destroying me?
Oh, I thought I did terrible. for a preseason.
We all did terrible.
Okay.
But it started out as I was doing this, I was like, okay, and I'll show you here in a second. So the first game we picked was Delaware State and Hawaii. Delaware did end up making the trip over there, but the Blue Rainbows, they did not cover. I believe that spread was pretty deep. So we bet, we did those against the spread, right? So I might have done this incorrectly. No,
the preseason games?
No, the football games up until FSU.
I think we did. I know we did on the afternoon underdogs.
Okay.
And the points won all daggum day long Saturday.
Yeah, with the points. Yeah, absolutely. Now, did we do it with the points or not? I have to go back because I deleted because I added Keith.
What did we do last year?
Well, we did. I think we did points with these games because the spreads were so wonky. All right, but I have to go back and look what the spread was.
I can't remember.
So, if we just do it straight up, David, or you picked Hawaii. David and I picked Delaware State, so you would have won that. I swear we did it with the points.
Oh, we did do it with the points. Okay, I had to think about that. Because, we were talking about 39.5.
Yes. Okay, so
yeah.
I might have to change these first few games, that's for sure. I think we did the first 3 games because then the FSU game we didn't do that one with the points. We all obviously lost that game. Do you have the point? Here, I'm going to see if I can pull up the points from the
I remember them.
Do you? Okay, what was the Hawaii Delaware State? Delaware State
39.5. I think it might have moved up to 40.5, but we'll call it 39.5. I believe that's what it was Friday.
Okay, yeah, that definitely, yeah. So we both
Delaware State, baby.
We took Delaware State. Jay took Hawaii. They won, I think, by 14. No, they won 35-14. Let me look.
I took 2 naps during that game.
I did not.
I mean, the game started at 11 o'clock at night, so
he slept.
My afternoon delight will bring right into what you just said.
All right.
I'm excited now. It's 11:38 already. Mm-hmm. All right, and then SMU and Nevada. That ended up being SMU kind of coming back late in the game. Nevada almost won that one straight up. That was a pretty good spread, too, if I'm not. 27.5, I think, was that one.
For SMU and Nevada? Yeah, 27.5.
All right. So this is getting better. I'm glad I remember did the points. I was really bummed this morning. So you and I both took Nevada with the points. SMU, David took them. Obviously, SMU won. That was my other big bet, was I bet Nevada with the points in that one.
Well, what did the total score of that one end up being?
It was 29-24. So yeah, you missed your pull by a smidge. I was like, come on.
That was a fun sweat game, though. It really was, man.
And I thought that parlay was fantastic.
Yeah, I had a SGP. I had SMU to win.
Yep.
I had Nevada with the 27.5, and then I had the over of 55.5, and I think they scored 53 points.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yep, it was, and it's amazing how close they get to those totals. Bookies certainly
Viva Las Vegas.
No doubt. All right, the last game with the points was Montana State and New Mexico. That one was a kind of a crazy game as New Mexico got out to a 31-14 lead after the third quarter. Montana State came storming back, scoring 3 touchdowns in the final segment there, including a 93-yard touchdown run by Adam Jones. Montana State won that one 35-31. But, Jay, we both took New Mexico, I took New Mexico. You and David both took Montana State. So I believe New Mexico.
Whoa. I did not take Montana State with the points, though, because I was big on.
Yeah, Lobos?
Yeah, I was big on New Mexico. Now, we are going to have to go back and listen to the segment. I'll go back and listen to the segment.
I'm pretty sure we did the points because I remember now, this is kind of stupid to pick these games straight up.
But
which looking back on it, though.
Right, when I first saw that spread, I'm like, what in the world? How do they got Montana State when it opened up was like 11.5?
Yeah.
I'm like, this don't make no sense. Now, Montana State did come back and win the game, but New Mexico did everything in their power to help Montana State win that game.
Yep, absolutely. I think I remember you picking New Mexico, too. Sometimes I'm typing really fast, so you got to make sure you pay attention, Jay, especially you, because I may screw you out of a game or something.
Sir, yes, sir.
Anyway, next one, all 3 of us picked Florida State, which I think most people out there. Now, again, I did take those points. So FSU lost that one. We got to take a quick break. It's 11:40. When we get back, we'll finish up those pick'ems, and then we'll talk a Little League World Series. That was an exciting victory for the Lake Mary, Florida team. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
We got two of the champions in here right now on our soccer team. Coach is on his way.
I know that the superintendent was also at the game, which is huge, you know. And I love that guy. Yeah, that means a lot. Seeing everyone like come support us.
Y'all played for it 4 years straight, right?
Yes, sir.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing is a combination that's hard to beat. With years and years of experience in vehicle repair, foreign and domestic, name brand tires, and fair prices have established Hewitt Tire and Auto as a leader that folks can call on again and again. And if you need a tow, call Hometown Towing at 850-265-1562. Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing, an unbeatable combination. Airport Road, Panama City.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
From the beach to the bay to the backyard. It's the Inside Drive from the Bill Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
I've got sand in my underpants.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is how we do it. And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We are your home, Jay, of which college team?
Let me think about it. Auburn Tigers.
You are correct. We are your home for the Auburn Tigers right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Their season gets kicked off this weekend. Make sure if you want to tune into it and you're not at your home with your TV, you either have the mobile app downloaded or you're in our listening area, either on 104.3 or 101.9. All right, Jay, let's finish up the Week 0 Pick'em. All right, next we picked all preseason games, which is pretty much just a coin toss. And what I did is I just picked the opposite games of David. Except, well, I did pick the 49ers. But yeah, I just went straight opposite of David. Because it really is a crapshoot, the preseason, which is now over. Do you know what happens tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time?
Tomorrow at 3 p.m., Tuesday 3 p.m., I don't know.
It is time for the 53-man roster to be formed, to be cut to the 53-man team. Just like that. There'll probably be some big names that you'll see getting cut by teams. Maybe other teams will be picking them up. But anyway, we started with the 49ers and the Raiders.
Does that mean they get a red tag in their locker?
That's a good question. I don't know if they put a red tag in their locker. They probably just tell them, hey, you are not on the team anymore.
Gotcha.
But a lot of these guys may get picked up by other teams that need them. So a lot of big names that could potentially be cut. All right, first NFL preseason game we picked in Week 0 was the Raiders and the 49ers. Neither one of us won that one, so that's a no blood because they ended up tying 24-24 with a crazy Niners tried to do kind of the Tennessee, Music City Miracle kind of action there at the end of the game. But and Brock had a decent drive. I mean, he had one pick, but Debo really didn't go for the ball on that one, but he looked a lot more like Brock Purdy. Obviously, he was throwing to his receivers that he will typically throw to. What was the next game we picked there? We went Jags and Falcons. Jaguars won that one 31-0. Again, the preseason really doesn't mean anything. David picked the Jags. You picked the Jags, so I picked the Falcons just to be different. David did pick the Raiders in the other one. But the Jags got the win, so you each got one on that one. Next game we picked was the Bucks and the Dolphins. Your future Miami Dolphins. Or have you already made the move to the Dolphins?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Just making sure. All right, that score ended up being, what was that score? Dolphins, Fins. That was, 24-14. The Bucks won that one. David Hayes picked the Buccaneers in that one. That was his last win. He got 4 on the first week 0 action there. Next game we picked was the Panthers and the Bills. You and I both picked the Panthers, and they won 31-26. David Hayes had the Bills in that one. We scored a win in that one. And then the Ravens and the Packers. Y'all both picked the Ravens. I picked the Packers. I believe the Packers won that one 30-7. And then last but not least, we picked the Texans and the Rams. You and I picked the Texans. David picked the Rams. Texans won that one in a close one, 17-15. That makes your total 4, David's total 4. And because I picked the opposite of David in the preseason, makes my total 6.
Oh, all right.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Long way to go.
What's the score?
4-4-6.
Okay, that ain't bad. I think I might be able to sneak my way back in there.
I think you'll probably sneak your way back in there after this week coming up. But
I just feel happy I'm tied with David Hayes right now.
I know. You should celebrate.
Right?
You should celebrate. That is for sure. All right, Little League World Series, Jay. I know you probably didn't see any of the action. There's a lot of other stuff going on. We'll start with the U.S. Championship. That was a great game. The Southwest team ended up losing to the Southeast team from Lake Mary 10-7. I believe the Southwest team was up about 4-1, something like that early in the game. And then, of course, on the international side, the Asia Pacific team, which I believe was Chinese Taipei, a.k.a. Taiwan, beat the Latin American team in that one to advance to the World Series Championship. Do have a pretty cool clip that I want to play of the Lake Mary's coach, manager, whatever we're calling him, of what he was kind of talking about before the game, or this might have been mid-game. I'm not 100% sure. And then we'll talk about the outcome of that game. David, you got that Instagram clip pulled up for me? Sorry, I know you're trying to get all these teams loaded, but I wanted Jay to hear this one. It's just good stuff.
I think I know what you're going. This is great.
Yeah.
This is really good.
If it is. Yeah.
Boys, this inning. One of the first days that we got here, I came down here. A man prayed over me, okay? He saw my dad later. He said it's already been written. We're already the champs. The Lord put it in his book. We're just gonna finish the story right here, right now. Stay calm, stay composed, stay within yourself, but understand it's already been written. It's already ours. We just have to finish it here. We just have to play this inning. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. It's our summer. It's our game. We're going to come out on top. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Go Pig.
Yeah, it was good stuff there from the coach. And, of course, I don't know if you saw the ending of the game, but it went to 8 innings. And I think something along the lines, we weren't home where the game was going on, but I think somewhere along, you get a ghost runner in like certain, it wasn't an actual ghost runner. They put a real runner on in second. So runner on second, no outs. Kid's clearly going to bunt. Everybody's pushed up, including the first baseman. Kid lays the bunt down. He's sprinting down first. The pitcher comes, fields the ball, turns quick, throws it to the first baseman who was not there. Runner on second comes around and scores. St. Mary's wins the World Series up there in Williamsport.
That's awesome, man.
Also, it was the first time a team from Florida has ever won the Little League World Series and the 6th straight title for the United States of America.
I wonder if Panama City got a plug in, because I know we were there, right? We were there in the 90s.
We were at 99.
Didn't win it,
we were in the international championship game. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I don't know if there's been another team from Florida since. I'm sure there, I don't know. You could look at, they've got great history on their site. But yeah, just like that, it has come and gone. The Little League World Series has come to an end. But again, congratulations to Lake Mary down there in the peninsula of Florida for winning the College World Series, for winning the Little League World Series. Jay?
I think that second baseman has to move over to first base in that situation, right? Like there was not nobody was covering first base for China, for Taiwan.
Yeah.
And,
Chinese Taipei.
Or Chinese, yeah. But I don't know where the second baseman was. But.
I don't know either. But anyways, yeah, and maybe the first baseman gets that ball, pitcher covers first. Regardless, they got to turn and lock the run. The runner on first is fine. You got to hold that other runner.
Right.
But they're kids. They're still kids.
Just live and learn.
But I mean, just to make it to the championship game of the Little League World Series is a feat nonetheless.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of feats, what do you think about Keegan Bradley winning the BMW championship?
Did not know he won. Congratulations to Keegan.
He did. He shot a little set. He kind of held on the final round to win by one stroke, launching him all the way up the FedEx Cup points list. But, he's a captain of the Ryder Cup next year. Should he be on the President's Cup now? What do you think?
Bring him on. We need all we can.
President's Cup's usually one of those that we dominate because it's not the European competition.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great stuff from Keegan. 42 drives, hit over 400 yards up there in, I believe it was Castle Pines Golf Club.
400 yards.
400 yards. One of them 430.
Yikes.
That's not the number one on tour, though, with over 400-yard drives.
Well, I saw some drives yesterday here in the area that was about 325, and that was coming from Ryan.
That was pure luck.
Come on now. Come on.
Pure luck. But no, that was fun yesterday. I hadn't played golf in a really long time. Got another chemo regiment coming up this week. So Keith's like, come on. And Liam's like, you really want to play? He's been asking me to play for a while. So I was like, you know what? We'll go out. We'll see how it goes. And it was fun.
Dude,
it was fun.
Yeah, I watched your ball striking. You haven't missed a lick.
I might be a little smoother now, which helps out.
Yes,
no doubt.
Yep,
no doubt. But yeah, and I was, Liam. He gets frustrated with bad shots, but one day he'll grow out of that. But he actually he hadn't played in a long time either. He made some great shots yesterday.
Birdied 13 right
on his own ball.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we played a little scramble. The two of us had some fun.
Right.
But yeah, he birdied that one on his own ball. He hit a right after you left. He hit a fantastic drive on 15. Hit a hybrid up next to the green, and then chipped it up and got down in 2, made another par, and then I believe he parred 18 as well. So
that's cool.
Because one of the things in the beginning when he walked out on the range, he kind of looked at me because he doesn't ask me. He doesn't ever ask me for help. Sometimes he does, but he's like, what can I do? And I was like, and I went right back to your tip from last week.
Oh, you did?
Getting on that left side.
Yep.
I was like, you don't want to force yourself to get on that left side. I said, but when you hit the ball solid, you're not hanging back.
Right.
When you hang back, you don't hit the ball solid.
Yeah.
And, what do you think about this? He says he likes pitching or chipping out of the rough much better than out of the fairway. Why do you think that is?
Say that one more time.
He has a lot more confidence, but he likes chipping out of the rough versus chipping out of a tight fairway lie. He likes chipping out of the rough a lot better. Whereas most golfers would like chipping out of the fairway, but what do you think the reason is behind that?
So he's hanging back on his right side a little bit, and his low point of the golf swing is not in front of the ball. He's once we start getting his weight a little bit more on his left side, the low point would be in front of the ball.
Yeah, and that's a great tip too. Because it's the low point is where you're impacting the golf ball, and it's important for that.
And we'll do a swing tip tomorrow, Ryan?
Yeah, every Tuesday as soon as you're here.
Hey, I'm on to something here. I
like this.
Because we were talking about getting off the trail side last week, and there is, I don't want to give it away, but what's the number one thing that you hear? And I had a lesson over the weekend, and we talked about it. What's the number one thing that most amateurs tell other amateurs in golf?
Eye on the ball.
Keep your head down.
Keep your head down.
And we're going to debunk that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
We're going to debunk
that. Is the most nonsensical thing to ever say to somebody golfing.
Yep.
Because it...
Yeah, we'll talk about we'll talk about
we'll
it.
Save that for tomorrow.
I'm all fired up.
The whole keep your eye on the ball and keep your head down drives me absolutely crazy.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like driving a car. Keep your head down. Keep your head down. Keep your eye on the road.
It's like, please do. Just got a text in, and I will give it a shout out. The Arnold girls volleyball season has started off strong last week, going 2-0. They have matches tonight against Mariana and South Walton, both home at the MAC. That is Arnold's home gym. Special shout out to the Arnold junior varsity team for an outstanding achievement at the Emerald Coast JV Jam this past Saturday at North Bay Haven. They finished first out of 8 local teams and regional high schools as the Gold Bracket champions. Shout out there to the Arnold Marlins varsity and JV volleyball programs. Again, anytime you want to text me, I'll shout out whatever you want, as long as it's sports related and, not anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, Lottie Wode, she finished 10th in the Open Championship over there. She won the US National Women's Amateur, so she got exempt into all 4 majors. I believe I think there's 5. I think there's 5 for the ladies. She's made the cut in all of them, and she was the top amateur over there at St. Andrews in very, very difficult conditions. That was won by Lydia Ko. But hey, Florida State, you might be bummed about your football, but you have the number 1 ranked amateur in women's golf and the number 1 ranked amateur in men's golf in the world, Jay.
Yep.
That's something to hang your hat on, that is for sure. And 2 of our good friends of the show, Trey Jones and Coach Bond. So, But yeah, I mean, having 2 of the best in the world on both of your programs at your school, that's pretty good. That's pretty special. One more quick local shout. It's kind of local, but Braden Masker, UNF, they were playing an exhibition game up there at South Carolina, and he scored his first goal with Ospreys. So obviously Braden was a star on the Arnold Marlins soccer team, state champion. He was a Gatorade All-American. He was the Florida Mr. Soccer, and he's been playing. This is his 3rd year at UNF, and he got he netted one yesterday against South Carolina in the Gamecocks.
Congratulations, Braden.
Want to give him a big shout out there. That is for sure. When we get back, it is time for our Afternoon Delight debrief, and Jay's got one for us to get us going. We're looking forward to that. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back.
Wide open down the sideline.
ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphin.
And Kyle Wright.
You take the top off the defense, and the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, light showers and some sun and a high of 90, the light breeze at 7 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. For tonight, a variety of light sprinkles and mostly clear skies and a low near 78. Tomorrow, sprinkling and a high around 88. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's here again, Toyota's national sales event. And this month at Panama City Toyota, you can get 1.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on the new Tundra. With its twin turbo engine and towing power, Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Get style for miles in the all-new Camry, explore the great outdoors in a new RAV4, or discover the new totally redesigned Tacoma. See you soon at our national sales event.
Offer expires September 3rd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're gonna have a talk.
Tell me what you know. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 101.9 in Port St. Joe, 104.3 here in Panama City Beach, Bay County, and beyond. You can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, and follow all of our great social channels. That is ESPN Northwest Florida on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search it up. If you want to have access on your phone wherever you are, all you got to do is head over to the Google Play Store and the Apple Store and search up
104.3.
That's it. It'll pop up right there on your screen. You hit download. It is a free app. You pull it open, it'll start playing right for you. All our 3 great local shows, the Coach James Hill Show, the Inside Drive, and of course the Afternoon Underdogs, as well as the Atlanta Braves, the Mosley Dolphins, and your Auburn Tigers getting kicked off this weekend. Coverage starts at 5:30, kickoff at 6:30. They'll be taking on Alabama A&M to get their season up and running. But it is your number one destination for college football here on the Gulf Coast. That is ESPN Northwest Florida. Also, big shout out to our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer, GM, and Kramer Marine and Outdoor. 24's got to go. 25's got to come in. Great rates, great deals. Trade-in values still high. Again, over 6,000 pounds. You got about a couple more months to buy a new vehicle to get that big old tax credit. If you need it, do it. And there's only one place to go. That's Bill Kramer, GM. You give him a call, 850-250-1403. They will make it easy and
take great care of you.
Speaking of making it easy and taking great care of you, Kramer Marine and Outdoor right there on the other side of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. They got lots of boats in stock, new and used. And if you need to get your boat fixed up, they'll come to your dock or your home to get it fixed up with their great mobile service. They're a Yamaha Outboard full-line dealer, Yamaha Master Certified mechanics on staff. They still sell an array of Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and Skeeter. You can check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. All right, Jay, what you got for us?
All right, this one's sports related.
That's fine.
And it happens over in Japan.
Okie dokie.
I thought you were about to say Tokyo, but you said okie dokie. Fight at Japanese volleyball game quilled with a kiss.
Quilled with
a kiss.
Sounds like a book.
2 of the top volleyball players in Japan decided to literally kiss and make up after a shoving match erupted between the pair at an all-star volleyball game. Yamamoto and Takamotsu started pushing each other, swinging. Yamamoto poking his head under the net and raising his fist in triumph. And then Takamatsu understandably took offense at the gesture and started the shoving match, which lasted about 15 seconds before Takamatsu leaned in for a peck on the lips. Can't make this up.
That's interesting.
The crowd reacted to the moment with a mixture of laughter and applause, and the 2 went back to their respective sides of the court with smiles on their faces. A local media outlet reportedly called one of the best acts of sportsmanship ever.
You gonna kiss your opponent after you beat him in golf?
That would be. I can't say it on there. No, no,
that's a no from me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Where'd you find that? I don't even know what you were searching when you found
this
that.
This was newshub.co.nz.
Oh, good. The New Zealand internet.
It's crazy, man.
You said you had another one too on napping.
Well, yeah, because it's a little bit statistical here, but I mean, nothing too crazy. But adults who take daytime naps might have bigger brains. A research published in Sleep Health in 2023 revealed that adults who regularly indulge in daytime napping may experience a protective effect against brain aging, with findings indicated that nappers' brains were larger by a volume equivalent to 2.5 to 6.5 years of aging compared to non-nappers. Conducted by researchers at the University of College London, the study analyzed a robust sample of over 380,000 participants from UK, employing sophisticated genetic instruments to establish a clear link between napping and larger total brain volumes. So, take more naps in the afternoon, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Maybe it has something to do with the stress of not being able to take a nap.
It could be.
You're going.
That's right.
You know who probably took a lot of naps?
Who's that?
The world's oldest living man, who has celebrated his 112th birthday. August 26th, the world's oldest man is celebrating his 112th birthday Monday at a care home where he lives in England. John Alfred Tenniswood was born August 26th, 1912, same year the Titanic sank. Just over 4 months after the sinking of the Titanic and 6 months months after the Arizona became a U.S. state. You didn't know that Arizona wasn't a U.S. state before 1912, did you?
Not. I do now.
I do now as well.
Yeah.
But Tennis Wood was dubbed the world's oldest living man by Guinness Book of World Records earlier this year, and now is celebrating his 112th birthday at his care home in Southport. It didn't affect me in any way, really, to be honest with you, Tennis Wood told Guinness Book of World Records of attaining the title. Personally, it doesn't mean a thing. He was similarly nonchalant about turning 112. In all honesty, no different. I don't feel that age. I don't get excited over it. That's probably why I've reached it. I just take it in stride like anything else, he said. Tennis Wood said he really doesn't know the secret to his longevity. I can't think of any special secrets I have. I was quite active as a youngster. I did a lot of walking, but to me, I'm no different. No different at all, he said.
Interesting.
112.
It's like if you're still vertically, I mean, when do you become vertically challenged in life? I wonder. I know some people
are just vertically challenged in general.
But when I become vertically challenged, like, take me out.
What do you mean? Like, explain, elaborate.
Where I just can't get up by myself.
Yeah.
And,
so
you know what I'm saying?
You're just physically, your muscles and your bones and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's vertically challenged. Typically, you hear that for people that are, vertically challenged, that are shorter.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I'm calling it getting up would be vertically challenged, I guess. Now, I would like to hear from David Hayes because he's talked about,
we already know what he's like 72. He's like, if I'm there.
I mean, when the good Lord takes me home, you know what I mean? But just, seeing, man, my meemaw deals with dementia. She's in her upper 80s. You know what I mean? It's just like, I think it would be totally different if I had kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because I don't, it's like, I don't know what in the world, who's going to be taking care of me when I'm 80? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but whenever the good Lord calls me home, that's when I want to go.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen.
There you go. 112.
Try to throw me under the bus.
That is 40 years older than 72.
That's nuts.
You get to
That's
72,
crazy.
you're like, all right, I'm getting up there. And then you're like, you know what? I got another 40 in me.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
And just think what that guy has seen in his years.
1912, man. Both World Wars, the Depression.
Jeez.
I mean, he's seen literally it all for the most part in his lifetime.
Yeah.
And the technology that has transpired since he's been alive is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
That is for sure. That is for sure. So, someone tell my boss that cat naps at my desk are for science purposes.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
I do, man. There's something about it.
Oh, my bad, Linda. I thought it was a preseason match. It was a regular schedule. That's awesome.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah, my mistake. My mistake.
So it was a regular season.
Yeah, beat those Gamecocks. Right. I was gonna make it even more awkward there, but yeah, and I think some don't quote me, but like Japanese culture and stuff like that, they encourage napping at work. Something like that.
Yeah, and then Mexico, you
just always keep going back to Mexico.
Well, it's the only place I've ever traveled outside the United States.
Okay, so it's kind of near and dear to your heart.
But just seeing everybody scurry at 1 o'clock for the afternoon siesta, close up shop. I mean, I know if I take a 20, 30-minute afternoon nap, and I don't even have to when you knock out, when you actually go to sleep, I don't even need that. I just need to rest my eyes for 20 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, that's that quick because if you start hitting your REM cycles and stuff like that, that's when you can wake up even more tired.
Right.
Versus that 20, 30 minutes, that's the little recharge nap.
Yep.
Recharge nap. Sign war between NC eateries spreads to dozens of businesses. A sassy exchange of words on the signs outside 2 North Carolina restaurants has now become a full-blown sign war, with dozens of businesses chiming in. The tongue-in-cheek tussle began when Loani's Grill and Bar in Morehead City left a message reading, "Happy birthday, Jeff," on its marquee for nearly a month. Neighboring eatery Dank Burrito fired off opening salvo by making its sign read, Leonie's quit being lazy, change your sign. Woo!
Oh.
Shots fired. It's Eoni's. I see it on their sign now. Eoni's owner, Sam Turnage, fired back, changing the side to Dank, we're not lazy, we're just busier than you. Dank Burrito, not to be outdone, responded, y'all just look busy because it takes 2 hours for $1 taco. I see a ton of people stop and take pictures of the sign, Dank Burrito owner Clark Morrell told WCTI-TV more neighboring businesses joined the fray. Prime Bistro changed its sign to read, "Boys, do we need to have a meet-ing?" MEAT-ing.
Nice.
A sign at EJW Outdoors expressed similar sentiment. Guys, do we need to taco about it? I think there's over 70 businesses who have chimed in since, Merrill said. Local residents have been keeping track of the so-called sign war on a Facebook group. Morrell says he does not know how long the marquee melee will continue. I have no idea, man. It's interesting. Like, I thought it would fizzle out today, and people are still posting and gaining traction. Who knows, he said. Turnage said that he has no intention of surrendering. I'm going to keep it going as long as I can, he said.
Oof.
Now that's something I can get behind. Little friendly sign wars.
Yeah.
You know, we need more of that.
We do.
We need more of that. And I guarantee that it's probably increased both of all these businesses because they're getting so much attention on social media.
And there's been times where McDonald's and Burger King kind of went after each other, I think. I can't
I think
remember.
you've seen some of those. Yeah, for sure.
But they're just, it's just having fun.
Well, you don't see that many of these kind of signs where you can change the lettering and that stuff as much anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Especially restaurant establishments.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Every day, new sign.
That's
it's
it.
like when I go by a local car wash, you see a something there, like a saying. It always catches my eye,
A lot of churches will do that too.
Yeah.
Put up. There was one where we lived in South Carolina. It was always had something a real punny thing.
Right.
You could say.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think there's a tattoo place off of 15th Street too that always has something kind of funny on there.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, you're thinking about it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. All right. Something that all three of us could probably never do. Man builds 54-level house of cards in 8 hours. This is from the August 23rd. A card stacking expert broke a Guinness World Record by creating a 54-level house of cards in just 8 hours. Brian Berg, a trained architect who started breaking card stacking records in '92, needed a ladder to complete his card tower, which topped his Honor Magic V3 phone for good measure. He put it on top. Guinness World Records adjudicator Thomas Bradford confirmed Berg, who did not use any glue or any other form of extra support for his attempt, broke the record for the tallest house of cards in 8 hours. Berg also holds the overall record for tallest playing card structure, 25 feet and 9 inches, which has stood since 2007.
Take some steady hands there.
Steady hands and a lot of patience. A lot of patience. So, being a Guinness Book of World Record guy should get some credit too, because you got to be there the whole time watching people do this. Like, he had to be there 8 hours to make sure he didn't put any glue or anything like that on there. But yeah, interesting.
Be kind of a cool job. I guess.
It could be boring in some aspects, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You got any more, Jay?
I don't.
That's okay. I do, because it's the weekend, or it was the weekend, so that means there's lots of good stories. This is just a classic one for us. Nothing crazy, but this is from August 23rd. The title of this one is "Emu Found Wandering Loose in Virginia City." We've talked about emus before.
We have.
Police in Roanoke, Virginia shared a photo of an emu found running loose through the city. The Roanoke Police Department posted a photo to Facebook showing the flightless Australian bird standing next to a fence, separating it from a resident's backyard. Is this your emu? The post said. Please call dispatch non-emergency to come collect your friend. Police later updated the post to say the owner of the emu has been identified. No further details were offered. I know. I was going to ask you have any good animal stories? But I always go back to when you had to call the police for the goat.
Yeah.
Goat in the pool.
In the pool. Oh gosh, that was crazy.
It's a little golf-related story. And
I like it.
I think, I think there was one at Bay Point. There was an injured osprey out there. This isn't the story. This is a different one. But there was an injured osprey out there I saw last week in one of the Facebook groups. And Scott Hess came out and got it wrangled up and took it to where it needed to go. But it had a busted wing.
Oh, wow.
And you got to be careful. Ospreys will.
Oh, yeah.
Big old talons. Similar, hawk rescued from netting on Massachusetts golf course. Animal rescuers in Massachusetts came to the rescue of a red-tailed hawk that became entangled in the protective netting surrounding a golf course. The Animal Rescue League of Boston said rescuers responded to the Woodland Golf Club in Newton on Thursday after a hawk was seen caught in the netting set up around the golf course to catch errant balls. And New York's went up a ladder truck provided by local firefighters in an attempt to detangle the bird of prey. Unfortunately, he was so tangled that I was unable to do so. Luckily, we had some scissors, so unfortunately I had to cut a small hole in the net, but it did relieve him from there, so I was able to get him off of the net and then put him inside a safe carrier box. York's told WHDH-TV the hawk was believed to have been caught from the net for about 12 hours. The raptor was examined by a veterinarian and given a clean bill of health, allowing it to be released back into the wild Thursday afternoon.
Very cool story.
Yeah. A lot of netting around, and,
Yeah.
we got some out there, and there's some on Back Beach Road as well.
I wanted to see what emu looked like, just to kind of see.
Yeah, similar to an ostrich.
Eastern Michigan University popped up.
Yeah, it's because EMU does stand for Eastern Michigan University. So have you found a picture of the emu yet?
I have. A flightless bird, native to Australia. Did not know they were flightless.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they could at least maybe jump a little bit.
No, that's a jump, not flying.
Right, that's true.
They're fast though.
Very ostrich-less looking.
Yeah, it's the same family.
Yeah,
big eggs.
Pretty bird.
You ever pretty bird?
Pretty bird.
What movie's that from?
You sold our bird Pete to Petey.
Yeah,
to a blind person.
To a blind neighbor kid. Yeah. What movie? The
Dumb and Dumber.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was gonna be super disappointed if you didn't get that one. That's for sure. But
Pretty bird.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Ooh, quick update real fast. The NFLPA vetoes QB rule change. Emergency QB must still be on the 53-man roster after proposal to allow unlimited practice squad elevations was vetoed. They called that the Brock Purdy rule because of what happened in the NFC Championship. Do you remember?
I do not.
He tore his UCL, and then backup quarterback got a concussion, and you didn't have a third quarterback. Because typically you don't carry three on the emergency or on your 53-man roster, but they said they were going to allow that to happen outside of that. But apparently the Players Association vetoed that. And that was just some news that came across that.
Very cool.
Chris, the Easter Eagles, hats off to you. Fight for old EMU. So you brought up Eastern Michigan. There you go.
How about that?
How about that indeed?
Yes, sir.
55, yeah. Some good comments on Facebook today for those watching on Facebook. One more. This is kind of as cliche Florida as Florida gets. It's just a story, and they have it as odd news, but it's not really odd in Florida. Police wrangle alligator off Florida resident's front porch. I feel like that's common news in Florida, not necessarily odd news.
Yes.
Police in Florida put their reptile wrangling skills to the test when a 6-foot alligator was found trespassing on a resident's front porch. Now, was the alligator trespassing or we trespassing on the alligator's property?
Man, this is something to figure out.
Think about it. It's a very short story.
Yeah.
So Edgewater Police Department said official officers worked together with an Edgewater Animal Control to capture the alligator found on the porch of a Florida Shores home. Add alligator wrangler to the list, the department said in a Facebook post. The alligator was not harmed and was turned over to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission trapper. So what do you think? Was it their property or was it the alligator's property?
I feel like alligators were here before us, and I think we trespassed. That's my thought on it.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, they're some of the alligators live a long time.
Oh yeah.
Very prehistoric-ish, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they're dangerous. I mean, you got to watch them.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Indeed. Oh, this is the one. This is a fun one for both. You just a fun fact. We'll end the afternoon to let debrief on this one. This is from the Not Common Facts Instagram page, which is a great one. People have collectively spent more than 25 billion hours, that's 2.85 million years, playing the video game Call of Duty. That's longer than the course of human existence. Call of Duty is often regarded as the benchmark for first-person shooter games. When it initially centered around World War II, the franchise has transformed into a significant cultural phenomenon and its modern iterations. It's no wonder Call of Duty players rack up an astounding 475 years of gameplay each year. When you add that all up, the combat simulations from Activision's 21st Century series have totaled a staggering 2.85 million years.
Jeez. Go play rec ball. Go sign up. Go sign up. Play basketball.
Well, I guarantee if you looked at the age demographics on that one, probably like the 25 to 35 probably have that one locked up.
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
because it's pretty graphic. All the games are nowadays. Anyway, that's going to do it for our Afternoon Delight debrief segment on this beautiful Monday morning. The humidity is back, or Monday afternoon. I apologize. It was the Afternoon Delight debrief. Yep. When we get back, we'll dive right back into it. You're listening to the Inside Drive on 104.3 Panama City on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The Sports Talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite Sports Talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the Sports Talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, lightly sprinkling and partly sunny and a temperature of 90 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. A mixture of light sprinkles and partly cloudy skies tonight and warm near 78. Partly sunny in the morning followed by sprinkles and 88 tomorrow. 88 and very light showers Wednesday. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com. On Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
He has one man to beat. He beat him. George Wells Hunter. Touchdown Auburn.
Kickoff on the Plains is coming.
15-10. Ford to the end zone. Touchdown Peyton Ford.
Auburn football returns August 31st.
The kick is on the way. The season is underway.
Only on your home for the Tigers.
Auburn fans, we're bringing you every single game this season on the exclusive home for the Auburn Tigers on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida, War Eagle.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. He has over 10 items in the express lane. He pays with checks and he doesn't return his shopping carts.
You have ruined groceries for me.
Now back to Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive. ESPN Northwest Florida. Not sorry.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay Henley.
Yes, sir.
What's that hat you got on?
My sister and brother-in-law went to Idaho or Montana back a few months ago, and it's a buffalo, and
look at you. I'm glad you remember what you were wearing. It's a cool hat. I'm going to guess Montana.
I think
over Idaho.
Are they right there together?
They're close.
They're close.
Yeah, I think Montana touches like the top part, like where Idaho has a little finger going up. I think that's what Montana hits.
Okay.
I think. I'm not looking at a map, but I feel like that's the case.
But they gave me this hat earlier this year. I can't remember when they went out there, and it reminds me of Colorado Buffaloes for some reason.
Absolutely. That's you got them in your final,
in my top 12.
In your top. Oh, you got them at number 5. 5?
I've got them at number 5, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
They're going to have to make some stuff happen. They're going to stop banning beat writers and reporters. Dion gets sensitive.
Don't you think, and we talked about this last year, Ryan, but all the media and all the press is on Dion. Dion's got to get out the way and focus. Have you noticed?
Yeah, but that's Dion.
I know, but have you noticed when they talk about a football team, it's typically about, key players. But when they talk about Colorado, it's all about Dion. And I take that one back, too. Colorado, Dion's got to get out the way.
So you're taking Colorado out?
I'm taking Colorado out, too.
They are not the number 5 seed on Jay's bracket anymore coming up. Whew.
Yeah, anyways.
Dion. No, I like that. That's good. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, man. You ready for the Bay Point draft on Friday? You just got a nice test run yesterday.
I did, yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always. Sitting on go. I'm just ready for the season to start.
Now, since I was worst in the league last year, do I get first pick this year?
I believe you are. I've got the order right here, actually. I believe you do have the first pick, but you can't take Christian McCaffrey because he is my keeper.
Gotcha.
But I will tell you, let's see, league home, draft order, Jay Henley. Yep, you are first pick.
Oof.
And we're a keeper league, so there's a lot of first picks that aren't going to be the best first picks. But
right.
Who was your first pick yesterday in the Inside Drive League? You should remember it was your first pick. You were slightly after me, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have a good top 4 or 5. I feel
Cincinnati Bengal.
Chase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase holding in. Who'd you take? Let's dive into your Inside Drive roster here specifically. All right. Round 1, you took Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Round 2, you took Drake London. Good stuff. 2 wide receivers back to back, staying away from the running backs. Then you took Patrick Mahomes with your 3rd round pick. We had a couple quarterbacks. Our first quarterback off the board was in the 2nd round. That was Josh Allen. And then the 3rd quarterback off the board was Lamar Jackson. And I feel like you felt pressure to take a quarterback because Liam followed suit with you. You took Patrick Mahomes. He took C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
Then you took Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
How do you think Cooper's going to do this year? With the emergence of Puka Nacua.
I mean, I picked him. I mean, so.
That you did.
Yeah.
That you did. And then you got George Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. Your first running back off the board was Ramondre Stevenson. Who does he play for?
I don't know.
The New England Patriots.
Okay.
Running back 1.
See, this is where, all right, so let's stop right there because that's top 5, right? But take Stevenson out of it.
That's sick. Yeah, top 5, yeah.
Top 5. All right, so from here on forward, so from round 6.
Your attention span was gone?
Well, yep, around 6 to 16, I couldn't keep up.
All right, well, we'll remind you.
Yeah.
So then you took Ramondre, which we just mentioned. That's good. He's running back 1 for the Patriots. They're probably going to have to throw the ball a lot, but we'll see. And Jacoby Brissett hurt his shoulder a little bit last night. Might be anything serious, but Drake May came in again and did a wonderful job. So is Drake May going to steal the starting position from Brissett? Who knows? Your next pick, Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. Not a bad second quarterback. Mahomes and Love there. Good 1-2 combo. Then you got Cortland Sutton. What team does he play for?
Denver?
Yes, that is correct.
Hey.
Then you did take Tyler Algier, running back 2-ish for the Falcons. And then you took another tight end quickly, and that's Okonkwo for the Tennessee Titans, David Hayes' team there. And then you took Ty Chandler, who's I believe, running back 2 for the, or is he running back 1? Running back, I don't know.
I would say 2 because Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Aaron Jones because they're healthy. But yeah, so you got running back 2 there. And then you broke the ice not broke the ice, but for you in the 12th round, you took a defense. You remember which defense you took? I was a little surprised, but nothing.
Jets or Cincinnati?
But the Jets would have been better. Cincinnati, I don't know. You took the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins, yeah.
You went with your home team action there,
Yeah.
your new team there, the Miami Dolphins. And then you took Marshawn Lloyd, who is the backup up there in Green Bay. Then you dropped a kicker there. You remember which kicker you took?
I don't.
Do you know who the kicker for the Jets is?
I don't.
It's the kicker you took, Greg Zuerlein.
Zuerlein, okay.
Yeah, there you go. And then you finished your picks out with Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver for the Colts, and then Tutu Atwell, your last pick in the draft. Not too bad.
Hey.
Not too bad there.
See, I'm getting some positive from you. And then Keith came up to me last night And the Godfather himself.
The Godfather
said, man, I'm proud of you this year. You really, really dove into this. And I was like,
was that the words he specifically used?
Dive into it.
Because I haven't seen you dive into anything.
Right.
Not even a pool.
That's right. You don't want to see that either.
I don't know. Some of our listeners might. You never know. You never know. But yeah, no, it was fun. And DJ Davey Crockett was Ralph Jackson was drafting in our league, and then we did have an auto draft as well. But we were very fair with that. We just went right off the 100 and went next best available. So it actually ended up being a pretty good team for Nate. And we'll get underway. David Hayes is working hard on entering all those names in to the leagues right now. Give a shout out to all those fantasy football commissioners out there. It's the job that goes kind of under the radar. If you've never done it before in a live draft, especially for us with 4 different ones, you got to click, find the players, enter them in there, not make any mistakes because somebody will jump right on you, be like, oh no, I didn't know that too. I didn't. So, I don't want to say it's a thankless job, but there's a lot more that goes into it than people realize on the back end of really getting the league going and started, let alone 4 at one time.
Getting everybody on the same page is just a feat. You got to figure that one out first.
Yeah, absolutely. You got your keeper set for our league? You do, right? Didn't we pick him?
Yeah, I did. I feel like it's DK Metcalf.
Yes, because you dropped so many players from last year during the collusion episode, so you didn't really have a whole lot to choose from with your keeper. Don't do that this year.
Yeah, and I won't. I mean, I didn't know it was very
frowned upon.
Frowned upon.
You're learning though.
I'm learning.
Yeah. You learn by doing that kind of stuff. And if you don't learn, then it's on you.
Yeah.
But we gave you a pass last year. But yeah, it's we're actually getting pretty close. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 14 teams that have not done their keeper. So I'm impressed with our people, and I'll keep reminding them every day till they lock it in. But it is fantasy football season, no doubt about it. I wonder who he's uploading it. We'll dive into more of the fantasy football teams tomorrow. That's for sure. All right, Jay. A little golf action. I want to get your thoughts on who do you think is going to get the dub in the Tour Championship.
Okay.
30 people up in your old stomping ground. You ever play East Lake?
I never have.
No, I'm actually surprised that you have. I just figured somebody would have invited you into that. I know Keith's played it a bunch of times, and this is, as he mentioned, this is post-renovation, but do you remember who is number 1 and number 2 in the current FedEx standings after the BMW Championship? Should be easy. 2 of the best, they've won the most and all that this year. Number 1's no doubt. Scheffler's number 1.
Okay. Did Wyndham Clark somehow move up to number 2?
Wyndham Clark, no, he's 8.
He's 8.
He dropped a little bit this past week.
Oh, boy. Billy Horschel's up there, right?
He's not number 2. You're missing a he won 2 majors this year. Billy Horschel is not up there either.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Who am I missing?
He made the cut. No, he did. He's not in the top 30. Who won back-to-back majors? None of us picked him in our last pool that he won.
You're going to have to help me out. Oh, Xander
Schauffele. There you go. Hideki Matsuyama, despite not withdrawing from the BMW Championship, holding down that 3rd spot. Keegan Bradley was 50th. He made it on the number going into the BMW Championship. Well, he capitalized on that by getting the victory. He shot all the way up to 4th on the FedEx Cup list. Then 5th is Ludwig Aubert. 6th, Rory McIlroy. Colin Morikawa coming in at 7th. Wyndham Clark at 8th. Sam Burns at 9. Patrick Cantlay at 10. And then if you get to the cut, Justin Thomas, of all people, was the last one in the top 30 with Brian Harmon, Siwoo Kim, Jason Day, and Davis Thompson dropping out of the top 30.
Is that this weekend?
That is this week coming up as we speak. And I'm trying to remember the aggregate scoring. I know it's the winner starts with 10. And it goes, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm going to look it up real quick. Do you remember exactly?
Where the 30th place guys at even, does he start at even?
I think there's a bunch of them at even, but I'm trying to look that up. Aggregate in Tour Championship.
Keegan being at 30, coming off a hot, that could be.
Yeah, well, he's at, 4?
Or 4, okay, never mind. Yeah, he jumped, okay.
And he was he made it on the line after the first FedEx Cup event, and he's certainly capitalized on it that before. Okay, yeah, so Scotty Scheffler is going to start at 10. Xander is going to start at 8 under. Hideki's at 7 under. Keegan's at 6 under. Ludwig's at 5 under. Then you got Rory, Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, Sam Burns, and Patrick Cantlay at 4. Sanjay M, Sahith Theegala, Shane Lowry, Adam Scott, and Tony Finau at 3. And then Byung-Hung An, Victor Hovland, Russell Henley, Ashke Biate, and Robert McIntyre at 2 under. Then Billy Horschel, Tommy Fleetwood, Sepp Straka, Matthew Pavon, your boy, and Taylor Pendrith at 1. And then rounding out the rest of them, Chris Clark, Tom Hogue, Aaron Rai, Christian Bezenhout, and Justin Thomas will be at even par.
I still think it's funny that the FedEx Cup is in Atlanta in UPS country. That's quite hilarious.
FedEx got what? FedEx is in Memphis, right?
Yeah.
The capital of Tennessee.
Right, that's right.
Well, they're the sponsor of it because it is, I believe it's what, the Coca-Cola Tour Championship. It's always been the Coca-Cola Tour Championship.
It has, yeah.
Have you been to the event?
I have, yeah. It's a good event to go to.
Yeah. If you have young kids that love the game of golf, the Tour Championship's certainly a fun one to go to because, like, I think we've talked about it with Keith, but it's 6 hours each day because there's only 30 people playing.
Right.
And you get real up close and personal with all these golfers. And somebody's going to win that massive $25 million bonus at the end of this. You think it's Scotty Scheffler?
Probably, most likely.
I mean, he hasn't done fantastic the last 2 events, but he starts with a 2-stroke lead going into this one.
I'd put my money on it.
Yeah. Do you like this aggregate scoring versus the points where it was just crazy complicated? And if you were in the top 5 in points, regardless of how it ended up, if you won the tournament, you would win.
Yeah, I do like it because, I mean, if you evened everybody out in the top 30, you got to give a break to the guy that's played well.
And the way they did it before, it was overly complex. And really, if I'm the 5th guy and all I got to do is win to win the whole thing, and you're the 1st guy, I'd be kind of that's kind of unfair, I guess.
Right.
But with this, hey, this is where you start. It's up to you on the golf course. I mean, I agree with you. You should have some kind of advantage there. But yeah, Tour Championship wraps up the PGA Tour season this upcoming weekend. I believe is it a Monday finish with Labor Day, or is it a normal Thursday through Sunday?
I feel like it's Thursday through Sunday.
It is, yeah.
And I know Keith. I guess with the connections that Keith has, man, Keith always has that 8 a.m. Monday morning tee time right after the match. And I guess you'd probably want to listen to Keith this week because not only does he know his stuff, he's been on that golf course a number of times.
Well, and this is a little bit trickier one because there's only 30 players, so there's going to be a lot of similarly picked stuff, and I'm going to have to ask him on Wednesday. I don't know how. I'm assuming your place on it is automatically going to give you points. So, because you know how at DraftKings, if you're in first, you get an extra bonus, second, blah, 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 blah. So you've got to work that in there, too, because, obviously you get points for finishing that kind of stuff.
Right,
but hard to believe the PGA Tour season's winding down, but you know what that means, because the Tour Championship weekend is always the first true weekend of college football, starting this Thursday with my Coastal Carolina Chanticleers on the CBS Sports Network taking on Jacksonville State. And then we got games Friday night, Saturday, and Monday.
What's the over-under on Chanticleers?
I know the line, or total wins? That's a good question. I want to say, it's not as high as it normally is, but I've got it right here, I believe, as long as they're in there. If I can click on the link. Total wins. What do you think it is?
I'm going to say 7.5.
7.5? That's probably pretty fair. I know Sunbelt is tough. Let's see if I can find them on this list. Coastal Carolina. The Chants. There they are. 6.5.
6.5.
6.5. Some betting ones have them at 6. 6.5 right now on some sites would get you at plus 115, and that's over 6.5, and then under 6.5, kind of minus 105-ish. So looking about that 6-ish wins. Sunbelt's tough, though. New quarterback, Ethan Vasco.
Okay.
Replacing Grayson McCall, who's been the quarterback there for the last 5 years. I'm actually wearing a Grayson McCall shirt. It's kind of sad because he's not there anymore, but I still got to represent him with the teal there.
Yes, sir.
Over there at the Wolfpack. Hopefully he can do what he needs to do and get the NC State into in the ACC championship, so my pick will come to fruition.
They probably will.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Florida State's giving them a little head start there. That's for giving all of the SEC a head start by dropping that one, no doubt about it. Final segment of this Monday afternoon coming up when we get back from the break. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your official radio home for Auburn Tiger football. The tailgating, the crowds, the noise. All the excitement of Auburn football is back, and you can hear every game right here.
It's Auburn versus Alabama A&M. Join us for kickoff on the Plains this Saturday. Coverage starts at 5:30, kickoff at 6:30 on your home for the Auburn Tigers on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida. Dat Cajun Place is your LSU and Saints football headquarters. Saints and LSU fans, wear your team colors and score a free Jell-O shot when your team scores a touchdown. Only at Dat Cajun Place. Get $5 pitchers on select draft beers during all live football games. Catch all the games at once with the NFL package on 27 large TVs at Dat Cajun Place. And the best wings on the beach. The locals' favorite, Dat Cajun Place.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
It's time to pick your path and go big, go bold. You can drive away in a new 2024 Telluride from Bill Bird Kia. The 2024 Telluride protects what matters, and it's built for the long haul. Its technology will connect with confidence, and upscale all-around rugged look will take you onto your next adventure. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia, the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. 20-year, 200,000-mile warranties and Bill Bird Kia warranty.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you are in the Inside Drive Fantasy Football League, David has finished uploading your rosters. So go in there and make sure that is what is on there, because I know from personal experience that, you know, there's a lot of names, a lot of buttons you got to click. Easy to make a mistake, no doubt about that. But David Hayes, we appreciate the work you are putting in to getting all these fantasy football leagues up and running. Jay?
I'm checking my ESPN.
Oh, you're doing it right now.
Now, I've got my Bay Point baller.
Hit the little drop down at the top.
Little drop down. Okay.
Okay, now it's...
I don't think that you've accepted the invite yet, brother. Because you're Team 4. I had a lot of teams that I'm just got numbers by right now.
See, I'm too... I gotta... As soon as you send it to me, I'm getting in there, because if I don't, I'll forget like you.
All right, we'll figure it out.
You got to go to your email, and then you got to click the link, and then sometimes you got to log into the browser in order for it to jump into your app. But I guarantee mine's probably in there. All right, Jay, you want to make you feel older than you already are?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
All right, little father-son connections in college football this year. Adam Vinatieri, you know who he was, right? Or is. He's not passed.
New York Jets?
No, kicker. He's a kicker. He arguably was the one who won the first Super Bowl.
I was
there.
thinking Testaverde.
Yeah, he was with the Jets. Yeah. He was a quarterback, though. Yeah, Adam Vinatieri was a kicker. His son, AJ Vinatieri, is now a kicker in college football, and I believe that is for the Louisville Cardinals there. All right, Brian Urlacher. You remember that name, right? Mm-hmm. Famous linebacker for the Chicago Bears. Yep. Griffin Fruin. He always wears a Brian Urlacher jersey when he's outside of our normal Dynasty flag football stuff. Big Chicago Bears fan. Anyway, his son is a safety at Notre Dame, Kennedy Urlacher. Wow. It's like, how do these guys have kids old enough to be in college? But time just keeps passing, Jay.
Yes, it does.
Muhsin Muhammad, his son Moose Muhammad III is a wide receiver for Texas A&M. Willis McGahee, you remember that name?
I do.
What did he play?
I don't remember.
Running back.
Yeah.
For the
U.
Yeah. Blew up his knee in that national championship game. That was one of the more nasty injuries there on live TV. Well, his son is a linebacker, and that is Willis McGahee IV for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Kurt Warner, you obviously remember Kurt Warner. What position did he play?
Quarterback.
Thank you, please. His son, E.J. Warner, is a quarterback for the Rice Owls. Chad Pennington, New York Jets quarterback. His son, Cole, is a quarterback for the Thundering Herd of Marshall University. Jason Taylor, his son Mason is a tight end Jason was a defensive end. It was a tight end.
Jason Witten?
No, Jason Taylor.
Yeah, he was a defensive end.
Yeah, for the Dolphins primarily, if I remember correctly. Well, anyway, his son Mason is a tight end for the LSU Tigers. Antonio Gates, one of the most prolific tight ends in NFL history. His son playing for the Spartans up there at Michigan State. Antonio Gates Jr., a wide receiver. It's funny how there's a lot of juniors. I feel like when you're a big-time athlete, a lot of times you're going to name your son a junior.
Right.
Or your daughter. But you can't do a daughter as a junior.
That's
not
right.
fair.
That isn't fair.
You should better be a junior as a daughter.
Right.
Anyway.
It'll happen at some point.
There you go. And then, of course, we already know these two. Deion Sanders, he's got two kids, both playing for his own team. Do you know both of their names?
Oh, man.
One's a quarterback. One is a safety.
Why am I thinking Keyshawn?
Because that's not correct. Bring.
There's a Sean there.
Yeah, Shador Sanders.
Shador.
And then the one you probably didn't know was Shiloh Sanders.
Okay.
He plays safety. Donald Driver, remember that name? Big time wide receiver there. His son Christian plays for Minnesota. He's also a wide receiver. This one will put you there, Jay. Emmitt Smith. Obviously from the Pensacola area. His son E.J. Smith is a running back for Texas A&M. Rodney Harrison has his son, Christian Harrison, is a defensive back for the University of Tennessee. Edrin James, he's his son, also a running back. Eden James, a running back for, I'm guessing, if it's a blue, like buffalo thing with horns, the Buffalo University. They're just doing it with logos. Don't quote me.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Matt Hasselbeck, his son, Henry Hasselbeck, is a quarterback for UCLA. And then last but not least, Josh McCown, his son, Owen McCown, is a quarterback for, I don't know what school, because it's like a bird with blue and red, and I could probably figure it out, but I'm not sure. But anyway, does that make you feel old?
It does. Like father, like son.
That's it. A lot of these times, and, it's kind of funny, it wasn't the last pick, but Caddy cornered in our board. First pick of the draft, Christian McCaffrey. First pick of the 16th round, Luke. Christian's younger brother, wide receiver, who I think is going to do a lot better than people project, essentially. But yeah. Documentary came out yesterday, Jay. It's on the MLB Network, but there's probably other ways to find it. And it's about Greg Maddux and his time with your Atlanta Braves. And we've got a cool clip that talks about something I had no idea about until I first saw this clip.
It was just trying to understand how hitters see the ball, and then what can I do with the ball to try to trick them. If I'm going to throw a changeup, I know it's not worth it unless I've thrown a low fastball for a strike. I have no way to trick the hitter.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you can't go fishing without bait. You got to bait the hook.
I think they have a fairly complicated set of signs that they go through.
I never told this to anybody, but he called his own pitches.
I think it's pretty amazing how he did it. So how he caught the ball from Eddie determined what the next pitch was going to be.
When he threw that pitch, he go fastball away, fastball inside.
Tap his leg with his glove. That is assigned to Eddie Perez.
This is changeup. I caught it, and curveball was this.
Nobody ever knew it. I mean, it was kind of brilliant.
They don't call him the professor for nothing.
Pretty crazy there, Jay.
Yeah.
And did you have any idea about that?
No,
I think it was Keith was telling me about it yesterday. He's like, he just always thought he was real fidgety on the mound, but like what he did with his glove, what he did with his fingers, that was all he was signaling to the catcher that that's what he was pitching next. I mean, a lot of pressure on the catcher.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, what if you just kind of look away for a second and you missed his signal?
That's right.
But I guess you probably didn't during that heyday. But yeah, that documentary came out last night on MLB Network, but you can probably find it on YouTube or something like that already. So,
yeah.
But cool stuff. Cool stuff. I know Greg Maddux was best favorite Braves player growing up. So,
oh yeah.
So I know she's probably going to want to see that one. But Liam's middle name is Maddux, but that has nothing to do with Greg Maddux. It's actually spelled differently. But yeah, cool stuff.
That is cool
stuff.
There's not a pitcher I don't feel like, unless y'all know, that can relate to Maddux in today's world. It seems like everybody's throwing heat these days, and Maddux was far from all that. But,
David, is there someone that comes to your mind that is similar to how Maddux?
I'm trying to think of someone, but off the top of my head, Gold Glover like that, perennially, no, not off the top of my head.
Yeah. Just shows you how much, how dominant that rotation was, but only one World Series to stand for it. Shows you how tough it is to win the big one, Jay.
You got that right.
No doubt about it. What about your boy Aaron Judge and the tear he has been on? He's now eclipsed 50 home runs for the third time in his career, joining some elite company. But I believe the last 4 games, if I remember off the top of my head, he hit 2 home runs, 1 home run, 1 home run, and then yesterday hit 2 more home runs. He's hit 6 home runs in his last 4 games to get to 51 home runs. Next closest is still good, Shohei Ohtani at 41 home runs. Anthony Santander is at 38 home runs, and then Marcell Ozuna is 4th, tied with Juan Soto for 37 home runs. Aaron Judge also leads all of the bigs with a 1.201 OPS and also 122 RBIs.
You hear those big-time batters where they look at, they see the baseball coming and it looks like a beach ball, and it sounds like that's where Judge is right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But, we're getting ever so close. Everything, Major League Baseball is starting to wind down. Golf's about to end here coming up. And then, of course, high school football, college football, and then a week from Thursday, NFL football.
So no more football. All right, so we got football going all the way until way deep into January.
Oh, yeah, way deep into January. Absolutely. And then, of course, you get the Super Bowl there in February. But, yeah, because of the 12-team playoff, we're going even deeper than we normally do in college football, which will be a very exciting thing. Again, they always go up against NFL in January, but that's the beauty of making all this stuff work.
It is, yeah.
Still feel good about your bracket?
Not really, Ryan.
Oh, you got to feel good about it. Hey, FSU, just because they lost, they're not out. Just keep telling yourselves that, FSU fans, you could get there. That's for sure.
Look, I'm gambling responsibly, right? I mean, I am, but the thing is, y'all help me out here. When you do a pick'em, do you typically have a 50% chance of winning? Is that the case?
No.
All right.
Because if you're just picking like money line, like just like what we do for David Hayes is one outside of ESPN Northwest Florida, where you're just picking winners, there's no spread, nothing like that. No, it's not a 50% chance because the teams aren't evenly matched.
Yeah.
If they were evenly matched teams, which is hard to kind of define, then you could say it's a 50-50 chance. I mean, one team's going to lose, one team's going to win, but there's a reason why there's odds that one team's going to win more so than others. Like if you put the Chiefs up against, the Tennessee Titans. The Chiefs are I didn't. It's just he's wearing blue, so it just went to my head. And there's a lot of people wearing Titans jerseys yesterday,
yeah.
But it's not a 50-50 chance.
All right.
In my opinion, if the teams were even, I would say then it's a 50-50 shot. And but you just don't see a lot of even matchups. You see a few here and there, but we'll dive into a lot of the opening odds for college football weekend as we continue to progress. A couple some local action coming up tonight, and then Jay, you got to remind everybody what you've got coming up. You got a spot or two left potentially, but we'll get to that here in just a second. You've got the Arnold Marlins will be taking on Mariana tonight. That's JV and varsity. JV is at 5, varsity is at 6. Both teams trying to remain undefeated. Volleyball action is getting underway, and we'll culminate with some more high school football coming up this Friday. Tell everybody about the you got a spot left in the development camp there?
Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 spots left, but ages 7 to 13, golfwithjay.com, you can get signed up there. But yeah, it starts September 9th, rolls all the way into mid-November. I think that's 12 weeks of, correct me, that's 11 weeks of junior golf, Monday afternoon, 4 to 5, and it's for ages 7 to 13.
There you go.
Right now we got like 13 or 14.
Still culminating with a little parent-child tournament at the end?
Well, drive, chip, and putt this year.
That's right. You said that. You said that. So we're the we don't even have to worry about defending our title.
Well, I've got to think about this because there's a drive, chip, and putt kids only. What about a drive, chip, and putt parent and kid? That would be something kind of
unique.
Yeah. Still pondering upon that.
Actively pondering.
Yeah.
Speaking of actively pondering, what do you got on the docket this week? Just practice, no matches?
Yeah, no matches this week. Arnold Golf is going to prepare for their big match next Tuesday over at Panama Country Club against North Bay Haven, Bozeman, and Bay.
Ooh.
So we're hoping to go 2-0.
So no Mosley in that one?
And Mosley.
Okay, I was going to say, isn't that Mosley's home course?
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Mosley will be involved.
So
in
it's
that.
a 5 match?
It's the
5-team match? Whew. Boys and girls?
Boys and girls.
Dang. What time y'all teeing off? Like noon?
Yeah, 3 o'clock. Yeah, it's going to be...
it's going to be tight.
It is going to be tight.
It's going to be tight. Luckily, the 9 comes back to the clubhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
Unlike Bay Point.
And we're losing 90 seconds of daylight every day.
Every day. And then, sunset is one thing, but some of the apps are really good about telling you when last light is. And last light is key for those outdoor activities. But yeah, for example, sunset tonight, 7:14 p.m. Last light is 7:38. And I think when was your last match?
Last Tuesday.
So almost a week we've lost because it was 7:45 was last light on Tuesday.
Right.
So almost, that's 7 minutes and we still got a day to go for a week. So losing light quickly until we hit that fall back. And, obviously it'll get real dark then, making that golf a little bit tougher in the evenings. But your season should be over by then, unless early November you'll be down in there, Howie at the Hills.
Hey, that's what we're shooting for, November golf.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. It's a beautiful November's probably, if I were to pick 1 month to play golf, it'd probably be November.
Oh, yeah.
Weather just perfect. Golf course usually in great shape coming off your growing season. October's nice too, but it still can get pretty warm in October. But I think our nice little spell of low humidity is slowly working its way out as the wind direction changed yesterday. A lot more wind coming out of the Gulf, bringing that moisture back over. But we had a nice little break in time there with some low, cool mornings.
Yeah.
Little tease of fall. They'll throw us right back into summer, and then we'll get back into fall here sometime soon.
A good fall Saturday to me would be maybe 10 off around 10 o'clock and then catching that 2:30 game maybe. And, that's...
No, I don't know if they got the 2:30 game anymore, but not on CBS anyway. That's long.
Well, there'll be football on, I'm sure.
There'll be football on all day.
It'll be on ABC now.
ABC. Everything's pretty much ABC or ESPN for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, but CBS Sports Network, Coastal Carolina, coming up on Thursday, 7 p.m. kickoff. Yep. The Teal. It's not at home. It's at Jacksonville State, so we don't get to see the surf turf quite yet. But you are listening to The Inside Drive. We appreciate you tuning in. Again, big shout-out to David Hayes, PCB Hobby, Domino's Pizza, and everybody who came to the ESPN Northwest Florida Fantasy Football Draft. Afternoon Underdogs coming at 4 p.m. Be on the lookout for your team to be loaded. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves.